What's up, it's Hood Politics with your boy Uriah. Please like, share, and subscribe, and if you can, show your boy some love on the GoFundMe or the CashApp. But check me though. You know, these lefties be cracking me up, my nigga. I realize when you're so full of shit, you don't know which way to turn, bro. You just flipping all over the place, man. They keep flipping out, man. Y'all remember the shit they used to say about Joe? Check him out.
You listen to Joe Biden and you just wonder. I think that we are at a tough point right now because there's a lot of people who are concerned about Joe Biden's ability to carry the ball all the way across the end line without fumbling. And I think that Castro has some really legitimate concerns about can he be someone in a long, grueling campaign that can get the ball over the line.
They do not have to buy in.
You just said that. You just said that 2 minutes ago. You just said 2 minutes ago that they would have to buy in. You said they would have to buy in.
Have to buy in. If she qualifies
are you forgetting what you said 2 minutes ago? Are you forgetting already what you said just 2 minutes ago?
So, this nigga losing his mind. This nigga, he ain't got a rap too tight upstairs, and they want you to vote for him. The things you say, TYT, even flipping out on this nigga. Check him.
28 times. I've been in and out of Iraq and Afghanistan over 29 times. I've been in and out of Afghanistan and Iraq over 30 times.
That is former Vice President Joe Biden, who the Washington Post is reporting has been telling a story on, during stump speeches, where he seems to be mixing things up, combining three different stories into one story that's completely fictional. And I don't think that there's ill intent here, but it does appear that Joe Biden's having a difficult time remembering things. Bernie Sanders was asked to comment on what everyone's been talking about, which is his political opponent's mental decline. And as always, Bernie Sanders took the high road. Take a look.
Some of Joe Biden's answers don't make sense. Do you think it's acceptable for a presidential candidate to respond to questions like Joe Biden does?
Well, let me just say this. Joe Biden is a friend of mine. I've known him for many, many years.
This isn't a personal attack, but it gets to Nina's question. And the question of Joe Biden's mental acuity is not something that just comes up. Senator, your thoughts?
I'm not going to go at that level in attacking. Joe and I have, that's for people to decide. All I can say is Joe and I have very significant political differences. And I'm not going to be making, personal attacks on Joe. That's not what I do.
So I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with Brett Baer.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. Tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday. All right, Chuck. Thank you very much.
All right. It's Chris, but anyway.
Chris, I love this place. Look, what's not to like about Vermont? You had people like Margaret Thatcher, you had people like the former chairman and leader of the party in Germany. This day, 30 years ago, Nelson Mandela walked out of prison and entered into discussions about apartheid. I had the great honor of meeting him. I had the great honor of being arrested with our UN ambassador on the streets of Soweto. The only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate. A whole range of people.
No,
my point is
true. The other one is
true.
here.
That shit was true. Chick, you is not black. You're not black. You've been claiming to be Indian American all your life about 2-3 years ago. Stop.
Yeah, no, there's definitely an issue. And
You damn right it's an issue. Kamala fake as hell. Joe losing his mind. But speaking of camel toe, remember what she had to say about this nigga? Check it out.
I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
That little girl was me. Man, Joe over there looking at her like, bitch, you lying. Hey, man, she probably was. But either way, man, what be cracking me up is that, man, all these lefties be talking about all the racism and shit and all that good shit when they the main motherfucking racist. Real shit, bro. I mean, bro, I'm telling you, I don't know how y'all, what movie y'all got playing, but that shit be skipping, bro. When y'all check out y'all got y'all history movie for the niggas in the parking lot be waiting on you, ain't it? Yeah, homie, I got that Democratic shit for the $2, man. 5 for the 10, man. I throw 6 on them for the 10, bro. I got you. Check it out.
The Democratic Party was once the party of white supremacy, supporting slavery and the Ku Klux Klan.
Slavery? The Klan?
And they started calling themselves the Democratic Party. Jackson's administration immediately began expelling Native Americans living east of the Mississippi River, an issue that defined the new administration. After he signed the Indian Removal Act into law in 1830, 5 large tribes were rounded up and forcibly marched into territories and camps further west.
Look at that shit. and they had niggas as slaves too, and you ain't even want the neighbors. The Native Americans was in agreement with you. Man, let's get the slaves. Y'all even moved them out. Boy, I told you, boy, them Democrats, boy, they don't like nobody but themselves, bro. They crazy.
National politics devolved into bitter controversy over whether new states entering the Union should be permitted to allow slavery. Democrats said they should, since their support base was strongest in slaveholding states. Yet a new Northern party, the Republicans, sprang up in opposition to expanding slavery any further.
So let me get this right. Democrats wanting to keep slavery going. Republicans wanting to stop. And what side you niggas side on? Who y'all voting for? I'm confused.
The Republican Party was bitterly unpopular among white Southerners who wanted to maintain supremacy over former slaves. So the Democratic Party promised to limit federal government intervention on behalf of black citizens. Democrats became effectively the only political party in the South, aided by intimidation and suppression of black voters. Democrats also won on state and local levels, leading to the constant abuse of the rights of black citizens.
Nah, bruh. Break that KKK shit down, bruh. Break it down. They want to throw the little pictures and stuff. Nah. Give us some truth about that shit. It's all right. I got you, though.
The era of Reconstruction, federal troops stationed in the South helped secure rights for the newly freed slaves. Hundreds of black men were elected to Southern state legislatures as Republicans, and 22 black Republicans served in the U.S. Congress by 1900. The Democrats did not elect a black man to Congress until 1935. But after Reconstruction ended, when the federal troops went home, Democrats roared back into power in the South. They quickly reestablished white supremacy across the region with measures like black codes, laws that restricted the ability of blacks to own property and run businesses, and they imposed poll taxes and literacy tests used to subvert black citizens' right to vote. And how was all of this enforced? By terror, much of it instigated by the Ku Klux Klan, founded by a Democrat, Nathan Bedford Forrest. As historian Eric Foner, himself a Democrat, notes, in effect, the Klan was a military force serving the interests of the Democratic Party. President Woodrow Wilson, a Democrat, shared many views with the Klan. He resegregated many federal agencies and even screened the first movie ever played at the White House, the racist film, The Birth of a Nation, originally entitled The Klansman.
So, Y'all fucking lefties are the father of all this racist shit y'all keep talking about. All this racist propaganda, all this bullshit. Y'all invented the Klan. Why? It must be crazy going around talking about bringing out all these Confederate statues, and all them damn statues represent your party. Wow. Y'all playing a fucking trick, bro. Y'all done flipped this whole shit, man. I just had to break this down, man. Because y'all are confusing. Y'all confusing yourselves. I ain't gonna lie, you confuse a lot of people when you're not educated. It's funny as fuck. Y'all are tripping. And I love the way y'all explained the switch. Come on, check it out. Check it out.
But it was the Great Depression of the 1930s that sealed the Democratic Party's new identity as the party of government activism. In an effort to combat the crippling economic situation, President Franklin Roosevelt signed what was then the largest package of domestic government projects in American history, calling it the New Deal. And in the process of doing this, his administration dramatically expanded the size of government. Yet the party was still split over race. By the mid-20th century, it contained Southerners who staunchly supported segregation, liberal reformers trying to end it, and many politicians who were just happy to look the other way. But in 1964, when the Senate voted on the Anti-Segregation Civil Rights Act, this shows how the progressive reformers in the party had gained the upper hand, steering the party away from its racist past towards equality and social justice. But the Democrats in the South voted against the Civil Rights Act, remaining wedded to the idea of segregation.
Nah, player. They was wedded to the same party they been wedded to. The Democrats, the Klan. Listen, man, it's funny to me how they spin this. You know, that video is from Vox, so you know them lefties, they gotta put a spin. But boy, I'm surprised he's letting all the skeletons out the closet. But you gotta put his spin, man. But what was the real shit about what was going on during that civil rights bill? Let's keep it real.
The only serious congressional opposition to the landmark Civil Rights Act of 1964 came from Democrats. 80% of Republicans in Congress supported the bill. Less than 70% of Democrats did.
Look at that shit.
Democratic senators filibustered the bill for 75 days until Republicans mustered the few extra votes needed to break the logjam. And when all of their efforts to enslave blacks, keep them enslaved, and then keep them from voting had failed, the Democrats came up with a new strategy. If black people are going to vote, they might as well vote for Democrats. As President Lyndon Johnson was purported to have said about the Civil Rights Act, I'll have them voting Democrat for 200 years.
So basically, the switch happened with you niggas. It ain't happened with no damn white folk, man. Do that make any sense? All through the motherfucker. Vox show you all through the videos. Them Democrats did not want to deal with blacks. Didn't want to be a part of the blacks. Been fighting against blacks all the way until the fucking 1960s. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we gonna hang with the party that's for niggas. They got posters and shit for the party that's for niggas. Republicans, the party of Negroes and carpetbaggers. The Democrats, the party of white men. But that's gonna flip. Their whole attitude and everything about from during the Jim Crow era. They decide, you know what? I'm gonna join the Republicans since all the niggas going to the Democrats. Really? Do that make any sense? Evidently, they didn't have the same ideology. Evidently. So why the hell would they flip out? Simply because what you say, big business? Big government? Nigga, the lefties love big government. They was instilling it. So they was cool with big government shit until the niggas came along with it. Get the fuck out of here. That was part of the master plan. LBJ said it. Give you niggas something, you gonna stay coming around. And damn it, he wasn't right. That's the damn problem. That was the switch. The switch was in you niggas' brain. Y'all forgot who the hell was on your side. You forgot what side you stand on. So keep being stupid. Trump 2020, 4-5 getting 4 more. Tell them dumbass leftists either get right or meet me halfway. I'm out.
Boys plain but never been fly. We rap circles round all of you guys. You want the truth, but they giving us lies.